If you find yourself lonely in a social gathering and just can't seem to connect with anyone, you're not alone. In fact, most high-value men have next to zero friends. From having high standards to preferring solitude, we're about to reveal to you 10 reasons why high-value men have no friends. And trust us, by the end of this video, you'll feel much better about yourself. So let's take a look, shall we? Number 10. They don't fit into traditional social hierarchies. To understand why high-value men have next to no friends, it's important to get this. You cannot fit these men into labeled boxes. High-value men are the rebels of the social hierarchy, and they march to the beat of their own drum. Cue Han Solo. Unlike your typical beta males, these men think outside the box, and they're not afraid to shatter conventional norms. And let us tell you, it's not always an easy path. When a high-value man walks into a room full of conformists, you can practically hear the sound of their brains whirring as they question the status quo, which can make it a tad tricky for them to forge deep connections with those who stick to the well-trodden path. But hey, who said being a trailblazer was easy? So don't be surprised when you see a high-value man chilling alone in a room full of average men. They prefer it, and nobody can tell them otherwise. Number 9. They fly solo. Do you know what sets high-value men apart? Well, if you're one of them, you'd know. These men are not the type to hop on the bandwagon just because everyone else is jumping on it. Nope, not their style. High-value men are fiercely independent. It's almost like they possess an internal compass that guides them to the best opportunities and people. Maybe they do. But the fact of the matter is that they don't need to rely on external validation to find their sense of self-worth. And if that sets them on a path that has a few wanderers, then they're content with that. You know what they say? Take the road less traveled, and you'll find the treasures of life. Number 8. They don't form superficial relationships. There's one personal mantra that high-value men live by. You know that saying, better alone than in bad company? Well, that. They'd rather be alone than surrounded by insincere or superficial company. It's no secret that our society lives for superficial interactions that act as social glue. Be honest, you'd better have someone rather than no one? Well, high-value men are always on the lookout for something deeper. They value authenticity and sincerity. And if that doesn't shrink down the pool for potential friends, we don't know what does. But quality over quantity is what creates long-lasting relationships and friendships. So in a world where small talk and surface-level interactions dominate, high-value men stand out like gems in the middle of pebbles. However, if you're looking to befriend a high-value man, make sure your conversations go beyond the weather or the latest celebrity gossip. Number 7. They observe more than engage. Now, one thing that high-value men do the most is observe. Yes, we're actually serious, and they have a good reason for it. Contrary to what you would think, it actually does their social life a huge favor. So these folks have a knack for sitting back and taking it all in when they enter a new environment. And let us tell you, when they spot people glued to their phones, literally addicted to social media, they can't help but roll their eyes in irritation. To high-value men, life is too precious for it to be wasted on endless scrolling or indulging in baseless trends. Wouldn't you rather spend your time and energy on things that truly matter? Seeking genuine experiences and positive vibes has become rare, and these men are always on a lookout for it. Sure, high-value men are humble and encouraging to everyone they meet, but here's the catch. They are definitely not willing to invest their valuable time and trust in people who don't deserve it. Built-in filter to only allow genuine souls in your inner circle? Check. So the next time you come across a high-value man who seems to have a smaller circle of friends, don't mistake it for loneliness. He's not antisocial or aloof. He's just selective about the company he keeps. Number 6. They don't enjoy indulging in popular trends. High-value men embody the spirit of the phrase, "Not all who wander are lost." Yes, their divergent paths are different from the well-traveled roads of popular trends and fads, but that's the secret to their success and selective social life. These roads hold purpose and meaning for these men, and they won't trade it for anything, especially not for the aim of fitting in so they can have a few more friends. You see, shared interests often form the bedrock of many friendships. It's a common ground where people can come together and bond over their mutual love for the latest trends or popular activities. In a society that thrives on popular culture, high-value men's lack of participation in trending topics and activities can make it harder for them to forge these common connections. They are on a different wavelength and content with their own frequencies. So don't fuss if your lack of engagement with hot culture leads you to make less friends. In fact, take pride in the fact that you're holding your ground to independence and uniqueness. Number 5. They don't initiate. High-value men have a knack for embracing their comfort and solitude. Master of your own social universe? Yes, please. But here's the kicker. High-value men's preference for solitude sometimes translates into a passive stance when it comes to making the first move in order to make friends. We all know friendships require proactive efforts and reciprocation from both parties involved. However, high-value men are laid-back beings. They don't always feel the need to take on the role of being the initiators. Now, this passive approach, while reflecting their comfort and independence, can unintentionally give off an air of disinterest. That's not really the case. If you are a high-value man, you know you can spot another one of your kind from a mile away, and the friendship that comes out of that is one for the ages. Number 4. They enjoy solitude. Now here's the thing. Sometimes people misunderstand high-value men's preference for solitude as a lack of interest in socializing or making friends. But that couldn't be further from the truth. High-value men aren't antisocial hermits hiding away from the world. They simply value their personal space and autonomy. In this fast-paced world, wouldn't you want to have a moment or two where you can just sit with yourself and breathe? Well, most of the people are afraid to do that, but not these men. Sure, they can enjoy occasional social interactions, but they do so on their own terms, savoring the quality of connections rather than getting caught up in a social whirlwind. Handpicking the most genuine and meaningful connections is a must in this chaos. Remember, creating your own VIP lounge where only the most authentic souls are granted access will do wonders for your social life. But at the end of the day, solitude is your most trusted confidant. Number 3. Other people find them intimidating. Don't you hate it when men who enter the room are loud and boisterous? We get it. They command attention. But if you have to ask for attention in a way like that, you have some evaluation to do. However, make no mistake, high-value men exude an aura that demands respect, and that's enough for commanding attention. George Clooney, anyone? Now, it should not come as a shock that these men aren't afraid to speak the truth or call someone out when they cross the line. It's not their fault they have the inbuilt radar for detecting BS. But that's the thing. Their no-nonsense attitude is quite intimidating to some people. You have to be on point with yourself if you're around these men. And to be honest, it comes naturally if you're someone who possesses the traits of a high-value man. Building a club which entertains high-value men only is difficult, but the effort is worth more than 1,000 friends. Number 2. High-value men are mysterious creatures. The truth is that these men are similar to unsolved crossword puzzles. While some may scratch their heads trying to understand them, only a select few are able to grasp their unique perspective. The thing is, when you have this uncanny ability to see through the smoke and mirrors of excessive social activities, you recognize that all this noise just drowns out your inner voice. So instead of getting caught up in the social whirlwind, these men retreat to the sanctuary of their own thoughts. They don't give much away in their interactions, and you surely can't read them like they do you. However, high-value men crave intellectual stimulation. Small talk and gossip? Nah, they're not interested. When you're bound to surround yourself with substance, you're bound to live a life that has a tad bit less friends than everyone else. Number 1. They have high standards. Mediocrity is a mood killer. Be it social life or business, these individuals aren't ones to settle for mediocrity. Not for themselves, and certainly not for those they choose to associate with. They seek out those who match their level of excellence. It's not just about surrounding themselves with anyone. They crave meaningful and fulfilling relationships with individuals who share their high standards. By upholding these stringent standards, they narrow their social circle, making it seem like they have fewer friends. It's a bitter truth indeed. While they may have a smaller friendship circle, The relationships they cultivate are deep and meaningful. And you know what we've said? Quality over quantity. Always. Do you have a multitude of friends? How is your relationship with them? Let us know in the comments below. See you next time.